Okay, to begin with, if you had trouble figuring this one out, if the big arc is x, that means that the smaller arc has to be 360 minus x, right? Because x and 360 minus x are the two pieces that make the circle. They have to add up to 360. So knowing that that has to be 360 minus x, maybe you want to pause the video now and try it again. So this is the equation you need. The bigger arc, now when you have two tangents, the bigger arc is always going to be the one that's outside. That's always going to be bigger than this one, okay? It would be impossible for two tangents to like meet way out over here and make this one the bigger arc, okay? So this is always going to be the bigger arc. So the formula that you need is x minus quantity 3x minus x over 2 equals 70. So I would multiply 2 to the opposite side, so you now have x minus quantity 360 minus x equals 140. Distribute that negative sign now, so you're going to get a negative 360 plus x. Combine like terms, you get 2x minus 360 equals 140. 2x is 500, so x is 250. All right, and again, if you want to try and check that real fast, if x is 250, that means 360 minus 250 is 110. The rule is subtract these two angles. 250 minus 110 is 140. Chop it in half. That's where your 70 is coming from. Try the last two, which are a little bit more complicated. We'll check them in a few minutes. Pause the video. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Again, if you want to pause the video as we're working through this, maybe you're stuck on one step. So I'll pause. I show you that one step. Pause the video and continue. You know, obviously, you want to do this on your own as most as possible. So in this example, I need to figure out what x is. The only problem is that the two arcs that I have are the two arcs for these two angles, not the 12x. So this is probably the best way to do this. I can figure out what this arc is, right? Because I'm sorry, what that angle is. Because these two angles are adjacent along a line, they have to be supplementary, right? These two angles have to be supplementary. So this angle right here has to be 180 minus 12x. Right? That angle has to be 180 minus 12x. So you might want to pause the video now that you know that this is 180 minus 12x to see if you can figure out what x is. So anyway, remember, that angle of 180 minus 12x is equal to the sum of the two arcs that it intercepts divided by 2. So 180 minus 12x is equal to the sum of the two arcs that it intercepts, 5x minus 1 and 3x plus 9, divided by 2. Let's combine a whole lot of stuff here. So 180 minus 12x is equal to 5x plus 3x is 8x, negative 1 plus 9 is plus 8 over 2. You could do this one of two ways. You could either divide both these by 2 by triangle reducing, or you could distribute the 2 this way. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer. All right, so I am going to triangle reduce here. So you now have 180 minus 12x is equal to, when you triangle reduce that, that's going to be 4x plus 4. So I got 180 minus 12x equals 4x plus 4. Combine like terms. This is now going to be 176 is equal to 16x divided by 16, and x is going to be 11. And that's what we're solving. Actually, it does say solve for the obtuse angle, sorry. So if x is 11, that means that this angle right here is going to be 180 minus 12x. So that's going to be 180 minus 132, I think. 180 minus 132. And that's going to be 48 degrees. The obtuse angle is going to be this, what you want right here, 12x. So it's going to be 12 times 11, and that's going to be a 132 degree angle. So the obtuse angle is 132 degrees. And the last one is a little bit more complicated. Pause the video, try it. All right, so let's take a look. This one is really complicated, I think. To begin with, again, even if I give you a hint, if that helps you, you may want to pause it again to try it. But this angle right here, now we learned this last week, this is an inscribed angle. This angle is half of this arc. this angle right here from what we just learned today is also half of this arc. So this angle, that 4x squared angle, is the same as this angle right here. They are the same because they are both half of the same arc. So these two angles have to be the same. The only problem is I don't have this angle, I have this angle. But remember, two angles that are on the same line have to be supplementary. So this angle in here, that angle right there, has to be 180 minus the quantity of 190 minus 13x. So if that helps you, you may want to pause the video now and continue and try it on your own. Now, when I figure this out and distribute this, this is now 180 minus 190 plus 13x. So 180 minus 190 plus 13x is 13x minus 10. So this angle is 13x minus 10. Now, this angle of 13x minus 10 is the same angle as 4x squared because both of these angles are half of the same angle. So what I can now say is 4x squared is equal to 13x minus 10. So if you want to pause it right now and solve that quadratic, go ahead. It is factorable. This is 4x squared minus 13x plus 10 equals 0. That factors to 4x minus 5, x minus 2, which means x is 2 and x is 5/4. X is 2 and x is 5/4. Both of those answers work. If you plug 2 into x, you're going to get a 20-degree angle, which works. And when you plug 2 into x here, hold on. I'm sorry, when you plug 2 into x here, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, a 16-degree angle, sorry. And when you plug 2 into here, 13 times 2 is 26, 26 minus 10 is also 16, so they're both going to be a 16-degree angle. And 5/4 also works. If you plug 5/4 into here, 5/4 times 5/4 is 25/16 times 4 is a positive angle, and that will also give you a positive angle when you plug 5/4 in here. So 5/4 and x equals 2, same. Both answers work, so we're not going to scarlet them or whatever day of the week this is, AJ them, whatever. So that is this lesson. I'll upload the other lesson in a little bit.